There are two kinds of documentation that are frequently written by developers. First, we have code comments, and second, we have help files. In this movie, I'll cover code comments, which explain the purpose of the current code and help make the code self-documenting. I'm inside Visual Studio, and I've opened a solution called Comments, which contains two projects, a C# project and a Visual Basic project. I'm going to spend the majority of my time commenting code in the C# project. But nearly everything I show you works exactly the same in Visual Basic, WPF, Silverlight, HTML, you name it. Let's start by opening this book class. Here I've got a single line comment. C# comments are started by using 2 slashes. I can also do multi-line comments. Let me open the program.cs file. This is what a multi-line comment looks like. You start by putting the slash and the asterisk, and then you end the multi-line comment by using an asterisk and a slash. That comments out all the code between those. Another common use of comments is to take lines of code out that you're not using anymore. Let me show you how to do that part. I'm going to go down to these 2 lines of code here and select them with my mouse. Now there's a keystroke that I like to use, which is Control-K, Control-U, and Control-K, Control-C. U stands for uncomment and C stands for comment. So let's start by doing Control-K. Visual Studio has this rather odd way of doing keystrokes. There are so many keystrokes in Visual Studio that sometimes they need to have multiple keystrokes. Now I've done a Control-K, and if you look in the lower left-hand corner of my screen, you'll see that it says Control-K was pressed, waiting for second key of chord. And what they're saying is they're waiting for me to type Control-C now. So let's do that, Control-C. Then the little tip on the bottom of the screen goes away, and the 2 lines that I had selected are now commented out. This keystroke also works in Visual Basic. Let me show you. I'll go over to this VB file, module1.vb, and then I'll select a few lines of code over here. And then I'll do the same keystroke, Control-K, Control-C. This time, it comments out those 3 lines, but it uses the Visual Basic specific comment character, which is the single quote or apostrophe. To uncomment, I do Control-K, Control-U. And if I'm the kind of person that would rather use a button on the toolbar, I can use either of these 2 buttons. This button here is the comment button, and this button is the uncomment button. It's really a simple system. Comment systems are core features in every programming language I've ever worked in, and it only takes a few minutes to show the parts of the comment system here in Visual Studio. For a more complex documentation story, be sure and watch the next movie in this chapter.